Dean Warnitis, Unleash This Book Reviews, where I talk to you about the newest contemporary literature, some classic literature. Sometimes I talk about comic books, sometimes I talk about my life, and sometimes, like today, for the first time ever, I talk about biographies and autobiographies. Today I'm bringing to you the autobiography of famed knuckleball pitcher of now the Toronto Blue Jays, RA Dickey, and his book is titled Wherever I Wind Up. Get it? Get what he did there, you know, because he winds up as a pitcher, but also he bounced around from team to team a lot in his life and stuff like that. Yeah, okay, anyways, this is my first time kind of giving a critical review of a biography. Biographies have never really been my thing. There's lots of obviously respectable heroes out there whose stories deserve to be told, but I've always been more of a, you know, lit, adventured, sometimes, you know, more literary type whatever stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, you know, I've been getting really into the start of baseball season this year. The season just kicked off about 3 weeks ago, I want to say, and the story of what I've heard anyways, background wise, on Dickey was really intriguing to me, and I saw the book and I picked it up, and I have to say, woo! Awesome. Been waiting a while to get this engrossed into a book and talk about a motivational, emotionally charged book. Now, those people who have even the slightest interest in the knuckleball pitcher, the only knuckleball pitcher in Major League Baseball right now, have probably heard some of the bigger revelations of this story, such as the fact that when Dickey was 8 years old, he was sexually abused both by his 13-year-old babysitter and then by a 17-year-old stranger that summer as well. Carried a lot of scars with him in his life from that point on, constantly sort of running away from the things that he was scared of that had happened in his past and was afraid to tell anybody, and he didn't tell anybody until he was in his 30s, believe it or not. The story goes on to explain Dickey's experience in high school at a private school with strict rules and regulations, and how this helped him cope, you know, after the terrible tragedies of his childhood, along with sort of parents that weren't really there for him. His father continually had sort of forgotten about him more and more as the years went by after he was divorced with his mother, and Dickey's mother slowly was taken over by alcoholism until later on finding help, and now they have a much healthier relationship. But as a child, he used the strict rules of private school to kind of guide him and give him those boundaries he was craving, and what all kids pretty much crave. And sports was a great escape as well. And in high school, he kind of realized how great of a pitcher he was, and he used that to sort of propel himself away from everything he was scared of. Of course, this would all catch up back to him, and end up seeing a therapist and so on to kind of release the demons that had been troubling him his whole life. So much more happens in this story, and I really don't want to spoil it too much for those people who are interested in reading it, but rest assured that is not the only adversity this athlete has faced. Didn't really make it into the big leagues as a professional pitcher long-term, established with a contract, until he was 36 years old. And if it wasn't for the knuckleball pitch, which for those of you who don't know, the knuckleball pitch is most commonly referred to as a butterfly, whereas those people who throw, you know, fastballs gun them in at 95, 96 miles per hour if they're good at it. Knuckleball kind of flutters in at 60, or in Dickey's case 70 mile per hour, and you can never predict it. It just kind of floats around, really tough for the batters to hit, but also very stubborn to control. So very few pitchers try to establish themselves because they don't have the patience to learn the knuckleball pitch. And if it wasn't for that pitch, Dickey, you know, probably would have never made it as an established pitcher. And he goes on to say that, you know, he studied English Lit in college while he was a college ball player, and if the career hadn't have worked out the way it had, he was this close to becoming an English teacher or professor. And that is really evident in this story. Well, it's written by a friend from the New York Reporter. I think that's the newspaper. I might be wrong. Don't cite me on that. Wayne Coffey helped him write the novel. It's apparent that Dickey's literary prowess is just really well done in this book. It's evident, is what I'm trying to say. He's a great writer. You can tell his love of Hemingway, sorry. he explains that Hemingway is one of his favorite authors as a kid, especially, and you can see that in his writing. Very succinct, terse writing. Yeah, great, well-written stuff. Very inspiring. You know, I obviously recommend this to baseball fans. It's the best baseball book I've read, I have to say, probably ever. And those of you who don't really consider yourself sports fans, or maybe don't live in America, so you're not really too concerned with Major League Baseball around here, or, you know, anybody who's never really been into baseball in general, I still, if you're looking for a biography to read, would highly recommend this. Very moving. I'm not afraid to admit that at one point at the end of a chapter, when he's explaining his connection he had to his high school baseball coach, I teared up a little bit, and I was thankful to have sunglasses on, so people around me, I was reading it on the beach, didn't see that. But that's how moving it is. The only book I can really remember having brought me to tears, you know, a couple tears, not weeping, recently is the epilogue from Peter Pan. That got me as well. But you know, I'm not somebody who regularly cries to books, so I think that says something. RA Dickeys, wherever I wind up, highly recommended. And yeah, check it out. You know, do what you can do. Book recommendations down below. Shoot them at me. I love to hear what you guys think I should read next. Follow me at Twitter at unleash_this. Shoot me questions and thoughts on books you've been reading, and you know, ideas to me there too. I love to talk to you guys there. I'll see you guys soon. Yeah. Hit me up in the comments. You know how it goes. See you later.